So the big question is this: how do most agents who struggle to get the information that most successful agents hoard to themselves grow and prosper without this information? That's the big question, and this video cast is the answer. Welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. I'm your host, Pat Hyben. Okay, Rockstar Nation, I have a great returning guest, and this one is because of you. A lot of people loved her original episode when it came out, and they were like, man, I am learning so much. Even though Amanda's not been in the business that long, per se, she goes a mile a minute and does so many things and just makes everybody else feel like, I need to get it together. And once they get it together, they start making more money. So she's very inspirational to a lot of agents, and a bunch of you reached out and asked me to have her come back on the show, and I got her here today. So welcome back to Real Estate Rockstars, Amanda.
Thank you.
Hey, Amanda, why don't you, in case they didn't hear your first episode, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself so everybody listening could get to know you better?
Definitely. Well, my name's Amanda Todd. I live in the Sacramento area in California. I am a mom of three. I have been in real estate for about 3.5 years now, and absolutely love it. There are high times and low times, and the high times definitely make up for those low times that we have, but I just love the flexibility and the ability that this business brings to have no ceiling to it.
No feelings. Explain that.
No ceiling to it.
Oh, no
There's
ceilings.
no cap.
No ceilings. Okay, so let's get. I mean, you're doing a million things, but first of all, let's get down to business. Like, how many houses have you sold in the last 12 months?
In the last 12 months, we are going to be at about 220, I think.
Okay, 220. And how many years, again, have you been selling real estate?
3.5 years.
Okay, so 3.5 years, and you're already up to 220 units. What is your, roughly, of the last 12 months? 225. What is your gross commission income? As I like to say, your ECI, your ego commission income, off of that 225?
I'm not sure the total number yet. I know it's over $2 million for our GCI.
Okay, and so what's your profit margin?
That's one thing. I'm not stellar at keeping track of our numbers. I will fully own that. I think we're running about 30% profitable. About that, our overhead's pretty high, and that's definitely my focus for 2018 is bringing down our overhead.
So you make about 600 grand off of the 2 million, let's say.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. And now, tell me, I know you're the mother, last time you came on, you're a single mom, 3 kids, juggling, taking care of the kids and getting them to school, getting them, dinner. You were home for dinner with them every night. You were taking them to soccer, all that good stuff. Lots changed since then. Tell me what's happened in the last, say, 2 years, year and a half.
Well, I'm getting married in 2 weeks, which is really exciting. What's funny is it's actually really not going to change my life at all because my fiance lives in a different state than I do, and it will be that way for at least another 4 years until he retires from his job.
Oh, wow. How'd you meet?
We have a friend in common that introduced us.
Wow. Okay, cool. So, so you'll be married, but you'll be living in other states, and
yes. We have 7 kids between the two of us.
Wow, 7 kids.
It's a big time.
Okay, and then tell me about your triathlons.
So I do Ironman triathlons. I've done 2 full Ironmans and 2 half Ironmans in the last 14 months, and that's honestly turned into another love that I have. It's the most amazing outlet in the world. And part of the reason that I chose Ironman is because it was about the most difficult endurance sport that I could think of, and I thought, why not? Why not? I like doing hard things. Why not do what most people feel like is impossible? So for those of you who don't know, a full Ironman is a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bike ride, and then a full marathon, 26.2-mile run, and they're all back to back to back.
Wow. And, and then in addition to that, tell me about your expansion teams that you're opening.
So right now I have 2 operating expansion teams. One is being through Utah, one in the Phoenix, Arizona area. I'm in Gilbert, Arizona, and I am building 5 more expansion teams as well right now. So I'm traveling around and working on my expansion teams and meeting new agents and finding the people that are the right fit to work with us.
All right, so let me get this straight. Now, how old are your kids?
My kids are almost 13, 11, and almost 9.
And do you do production yourself?
I do. I am still producing myself.
So, like, of those 225, how many deals are you doing yourself? How many are you taking on yourself?
Probably, I'd say probably a quarter to a third of those are my deals.
So 75, so let's say about 60, let's say 60, 55. So 4 to 5 a month. So, okay. So the question is, right. So you're doing 4 or 5 deals a month yourself. You're running a team that's doing another, 15 or so a month. You're getting married. You have 3 kids under 13. You're running 4 triathlons and half triathlons every year. You're training for those triathlons. You're opening 8 expansion teams. I mean, really, how many hours do you sleep a night?
I don't sleep much, but here's the keys that I will tell you to all of that. I pick my kids up from school every single day. Every day. There's days that they're with their dad, and so those are the days I don't pick them up. But the days that they are with me, I pick my kids up from school every day. And I will tell you, the number one thing that I have found that fills me is being the type of mom that I want to be and that I know I should be. Because if I am taking away from my kids, then I'm feeling guilty and I'm not 100% when I'm working. And if I'm not 100% when I'm working, then I'm taking away from my kids. And so I figured out that I put my kids first, and I have that fulfillment and satisfaction that I know that I'm being the type of mom that I need to and want to be. And then everything else falls into place, because then I can be 100% in whatever other area I'm focusing on in that moment in time.
Wow. That's great that you have that ability, because a lot of people don't have that ability, right? To basically switch stations like a remote control. You go from marathon, you go from, triathlon training to business training to expansion to clients to kids to marriage. So, I mean, like, how many days a week? I mean, how many hours in a day does it take to train for a triathlon?
Well, it takes getting up really early in the morning. I usually train from 4 till 6 a.m. in the morning.
2 hours.
Correct.
Okay. And then 7 days a week.
And then about every other Saturday, I do a longer workout. The Saturdays my kids aren't with me, I will do a long bike ride and run put together. And I start it early in the morning, and I usually try to finish around 10 a.m. so that I still have time to work during the day as well.
Okay. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So what are you doing now to generate business?
Well, there are several different legs to our stool. We do a lot of online lead generation between Facebook and portal leads. We do community events like I've spoken about in the past when you
I love those.
Before. We do farming. We do, I mean, there's a lot of, I'm on a TV show now locally, and it's in several different markets. It's in our expansion markets as well. So
What,
it's
wait a
in,
minute. Stop there. What, it's a what?
it's a TV show.
What is it called?
It's called The American Dream.
And where can I watch it?
Sacramento, it's on Fox.
And what is it
Trying to,
about?
I want to, it's on CBS. So there's several things that it's about, but it's about the local market. It's about what's hot in housing. There's several different things. It's different every week what it's about. And so there's the national part. It's a 30-minute show, and it's on a major network. It's not like it's on some, cable off channel or something like that. That the first 20 minutes is the show host, Craig Sewing, or one of his co-hosts. And then they switch for the last 10 minutes or so to the local part. And that's where we discuss many things, local market conditions. We talk about, what's hot in housing. We talk about specific, unique listings that we may have, something like that. And just really making it so that it's a positive spin on the housing climate in our country.
Interesting.
It's great.
And
so I'm on the Phoenix show, the Salt Lake City show, which airs all over Utah actually, and the Sacramento show.
And it's all the same show, right?
The first 20 minutes of it is. The last 10 minutes is tailored specifically to the local market. So my segments are not the same for each of the markets. They're different for each of the three markets that I'm a part of.
Wow. And now how'd you get that gig?
Being one of the top realtors in the city, I was invited to be part of it.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm sure I could find it online, right? If I go to YouTube or just Google it, The American Dream with Amanda Todd.
Yep.
Yeah.
With Craig Sewing as the main TV host.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So what do you think has changed in the last 18 months with regards to real estate and real estate leads that agents need to be aware of, as far as what leads are easier to deal with, what leads are harder to deal with? Where should we be focusing our attention?
Well, this is the thing. It needs to be a combination of both online and the personal touch. And that's one of the things that I have really made an effort to focus on for our team, is to have both, to make sure that we are meeting the clients where they are. And where is everyone? They're online. They're on social media platforms. They're on the different real estate portal websites, whether it's Zillow, whether it's Realtor.com. Having a mix of that coupled with the personal touch of keeping our past clients close to us, keeping our past clients feeling important, that I have found is really the magic secret, is that you're in front of them at every turn. You're online on the portal sites, you're on their social media feeds, and you're still reaching out and touching those past clients so that you stay top of mind to them to get referrals.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's always a balance, right? Because you never know what is going to change, right? What's going to become easier, what's going to become harder. So, so I guess diversification is what you're saying.
Yes, definitely. I think that you're really backing yourself into a corner if you completely ignore an online presence and even a presence of getting online real estate leads. But you're also losing very valuable business if you are not keeping in touch with those past clients that you have gotten from online lead sources.
Fascinating.
So it's really, I can't tell you how many times I've sat in listing appointments where there's a magnet on the fridge from another agent. But because I have the online presence, because I've kept in touch with our past clients, I'm the one that's sitting in their kitchen for a listing appointment, not that agent who's on the magnet.
Right. So, tell me about your listing appointments while we're talking that. Like, how long do they last? Do you do one step? Do you do two step? What happens once you're in the door?
So when I get in the door, I am talking to people about what their goals are, because this isn't about me. This isn't about my agenda. I want to find out what they are after. Are they selling soon? Are they just curious? And I really make it a point to not, in a sense, overqualify people or underqualify people or disqualify people when we're on the phone, because I would rather get face to face with them. To me personally, that's how you really get to the root of getting to know someone and what their needs are. Because if you come with the mindset that you are there to help meet their needs, not you're there to land another listing, I feel like just that energy difference makes a huge difference in setting yourself apart from other agents if they are interviewing other agents. So when I get there, I am there to find out how I can help them. And then I give them a very honest assessment, because I feel like a lot of agents want to overinflate the listing price and tell them, oh yeah, it's going to sell for this. Well, guess what? When they don't have any showings because it's overpriced, they're going to hate you. I want my clients to love me at the end of the transaction.
So you're essentially of the mindset you'd rather turn them down now than let them down later.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. Because people want someone who's going to be honest and authentic with them.
Good stuff. All right, cool. And so once you get in there, right, you're obviously you're spending some time asking them questions. Give me some specifics of questions that you're asking them, to dig deep.
What's their motivation? Why are they moving? I feel like that's the biggest thing to find out, because if it's something that they aren't super committed to, buying and selling a house is a lot of work for the consumer. And so if it's something that they're not 100% on board with, when something gets rough, like they're knee deep in boxes and can't find something they need, or they're knee deep in boxes and heaven forbid their buyer cancels, or whatever it is, I mean, there's a lot of different stress points that can happen. You have to make sure that they are as equally committed to this process as you are. So I find out their motivation. I find out their timeline. I find out what they feel like their home is worth. Excuse me. And again, I want to set those realistic expectations so people know what to expect when they're going through this process. And I set the expectation up front that, look, our first 14 days on the market are our most critical days on the market. I make my clients very, very assured at what I feel like they should expect for a sales price. If they have something else in mind, there are times that I will say, sure, we can list your home for a higher price, with the understanding that if we aren't getting 3 to 4 showings a day in those first 7 days, we know we are priced too high and we need to do a price adjustment right away. So I set that understanding that they're in the driver's seat, but they contacted me because I am the real estate expert. And so I'm willing to let them be in the driver's seat with the understanding that I'm here to advise them, and that I want them to understand that I have their best interest at heart, and I don't want it to be a frustrating process for them.
Yeah. Now, what do you say to the listing appointments when you go on a listing appointment, right? And you after you've sat down, you've gotten their motivation, you feel like you've built some rapport. I can tell you're really good at building rapport with people and very likable. And they say to you, Amanda, let's be real. You got 3 kids under 13. You run triathlons, every 3 months, which you train for incredibly. You've got all these expansion teams going on. You've got a team of a bunch of agents. You really going to have time for my listing? How do you
and
react
that
to
is
that?
really definitely, and I have people ask me that often. How do you fit it all in? How do I know that you're going to have time to handle this? And I explain to them the structure of my team, that I am backfilled and supported in every direction. And so it allows me to be available and to be present for them. It allows me to have a marketing specialist. I'm not the one that's putting their actual listing online. I'm not the one that's putting their actual listing on Facebook. It's my marketing specialist who does that, so that, again, it frees me up to be present for my clients. And when I really explain to them the different support systems that I have in place so that I can be present and available to them when they need me, people love that.
Yeah. I guess you just gotta, be ready for that. Or do you kind of suppress your busyness, or do you embrace it? I mean, you know what I mean? I think that you would almost feel like you don't want them to know all that stuff, right? I mean, if I
No,
was
and
an
I
agent,
don't.
I might use it against you.
I do Ironmans. I don't tell people I do all that because I don't want them to get the perception that I'm too busy for them.
Yeah, probably smart, right? Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then tell me now, are you working buyers now?
Not typically.
Not typically. So those go to your team. And tell me what your team looks like now.
So I have 13 agents locally. I have a staff of 4 W-2 employees, and they handle also helping me manage our expansion team. And then I have 5 agents in my 2 operating expansion teams right now.
Wow. And let's talk about expansion. I mean, some people listening might say, hey, Amanda, she's not doing enough business, 225 units, to warrant expansion. How do you react to that?
How does anybody have a number of when it's okay to expand? For me, it's 100% been amazing people coming to me saying, I want to be a part of your operation. I would love, and it's just about having these right people and being surrounded by these right people that are a part of it.
And so tell me about that. Like, what's this like how far are you from St. George, Utah?
I'm an hour and 10-minute flight and an hour and a half drive.
Okay. Say it again. Hour and 10-minute flight and
then an hour and a half drive after I get there.
Oh, after you get there. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have some friends that just did that triathlon, the St. George.
Yeah, I did too.
Did you? Oh, wow. You probably, ran into each other. There was a group of guys, about 15 of them, that did that. I know that's a big one. So, all right. So what made you decide, why didn't you go a half hour away?
We do.
Oh, you already
We do go.
Okay, I got you.
But again, it was more the people. I think that there's 2 different reasons to expand. When there's a where that you specifically want to go to, or when there's a specific who that you want to work with.
Okay, so tell me about that. Like, tell me the story on the who of the St. George, Utah one.
So what's funny, actually, I was at a 4th of July parade, and I was wearing my St. George Ironman t-shirt. And I was talking with some people that I know. Their kids go to school with my kids, and her sister was there visiting. Her sister said, "Oh, St. George Ironman. I live in St. George." I said, "Oh, you do?" I said, and I mean, I had just done it. Maybe it was, I think, 2 months before that. She said, "Yeah." And her sister, who her kids go to school with my kids, and I didn't know her very well, but we have a lot of friends in common. Her sister turned to her and said, "This girl is the queen of real estate around here." And the sister, who was from St. George, said, "I've actually really been interested in getting into real estate. I was just looking into getting my license." And I said, "Really?" And I said, "Well, you know, if you ever have any interest in it, let me know." She goes, "No, I'm really serious. I'm really interested." I said, "Okay, well, you know, my kids were holding water bottles that had my personalized labels on them from a community event we just had. They were left over. They were in the garage, and my kids grabbed them as we were on our way out the door to the parade. And I go, "Well, here," handed her a water bottle. I'm like, "My number's on there. Give me a call." And she laughed. She's like, "That's pretty cool." And so then, you know, fast forward about a month, she got her license, and she called me and she said, "I've got my license. I'm ready to go." And part of what I have learned with my agents, whether it's locally or expansion agents, I need to see a level of tenacity in them. I need to see that follow-up with them. I need to see that they're being proactive, because I want people who will have a level of proactivity just like I do. I'm not here to babysit. I'm here to help build and train and teach people that are like-minded to me. And she was so proactive and got her license, and, okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? And I was just so incredibly impressed with her. And as I learned more and more about her, I went and met with her. I went to St. George and met with her. And I was just so impressed with her as a person. She already runs a very successful gymnastics coaching business. She is, I believe, a judge for the Olympics or for the Olympic trials for gymnastics. So you can tell she just has that very passionate mindset and is a very put together person. And I just really felt like, yep, she is a person that I want to be associated with professionally. And we started training her just like we train our other agents. And she, within, probably 4 weeks of us turning on her leads in St. George, she already had her first deal in contract, like right away. Because wow. She went after it with a hunger and tenacity. And so again, to me, it was more about the why. And that's, you know, similar story happened in Arizona. People came to me who wanted to get into real estate, who were very successful people professionally. They wanted to be part of something bigger. Again, they have just run with things. And so it's amazing at when you set your goals on living to being the type of person that you know you should be and that you want to be, the level of people that you will attract, because like attracts like.
What do you think about the word toolbox? What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. Like attract likes. I always like that that phrase. Um, that's great. Okay, so how are you keeping these expansion teams accountable? Like with your schedule, like do you have like set meetings, and like what does your schedule look like that you're able to successfully run expansion teams, your team, your family, that sort of thing?
So my operations manager meets with our agents, whether it's on the phone or in person, and goes through their follow-up with them, goes over their goals with them, and then the ones that she really feels like need some additional coaching and mentoring, I meet with. And that really has helped because we find out what everyone's goals are, whether they're personal, professional, whatever it is. We find out what their goals are, and we really, again, kind of like somebody selling a house, we remind them of their motivation. We bring them back to why they're doing this, why they got into this. And it just really helps to keep them motivated and keep them on track. And so my day looks like I get up. I'm really big on the miracle morning. I do my miracle morning. I get my workout in, depending on what my workout is for that day. I shower. I get ready for the day. I get my kids out the door to school. I go into the office when I drop my kids off at school. And then we have a team phone call 3 mornings a week at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we go through it with our on-staff transaction coordinator. And if anybody has anything that needs to be done on their files, they let her know. If she has any updates for them, she lets them know. And it just really helps cut down on the amount of times that she's interrupted during the day. And then I usually go on appointments, I do my follow-up. And I meet with my team, my administrative team, and we have different days. We have marketing meetings with our affiliate partners. And so those are just, different days throughout the week. Those are already preset meetings. And then I'm working on my own transactions. I'm working with my own clients. And when it's the days that I have my kids, 2:50 comes and I walk out the door and I am picking my kids up from school. And then I'm mom, and I'm juggling homework and swim team and dance and getting them all the places they need to go. And then usually around 5:30 or 6 is when I start getting back to my clients, because I really want to have that on time with my kids. I can never replace these years with my kids, ever. And so from about 3 till 5 or 5:30, that's my mom time. And then after that is when I'll start responding to clients. Usually I'll be returning phone calls while I'm making dinner. And then, if I have some evening appointments from time to time, I do take evening appointments when my kids are with me, but usually I even completely block out my evenings when my kids are with me. So even if I'm responding to emails, texts, or phone calls, I'm still at least physically with my kids. We sit down, we have dinner together every night, no phones at dinner. And that's my time to really be connected to them. And then as needed, after they go to bed, I continue working on things, and then it's rinse and repeat up the next morning.
Rinse and repeat. I love it. Well, listen, Amanda, this has been amazing. Guys, I'm going to put everything that Amanda and I talked about today in the show notes at hibandigital.com/Amanda Todd 2. That's hibandigital.com/Amanda Todd 2. Okay, Amanda, listen. So this is great. As you know, everybody that comes on the show leaves us a gift, right? Before they leave, they drop us a gift. We take that gift, we put it in our agent toolbox so agents around the world can use the items of all of our guests. What are you going to donate today to the Agent Success Toolbox?
We have an awesome open house sign-in form that we actually fill out. We don't have the clients fill out, and I would love to give that to everyone, because that's a new tactic I have all of my agents do. Instead of having people sign in, you collect their information and have a way that you can give back and reach out to those people easily. So I am happy to send that out and have everybody take a look at that and try a new tactic on open houses.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thanks so much, guys. And I will put that together with everything else in the show notes at hibandigital.com/Amanda Todd 2, the number 2, hibandigital.com/Amanda Todd, the number 2, and it will be in the Agent Success Toolbox, which anybody can get by going to hibandigital.com/toolbox or texting the word toolbox to 444-999. Amanda, this has been awesome. If I'm ever in the Sacramento area, we will get together for sure and break some bread, and congratulations on your new marriage.
Thank you. I would love to get to meet you in person. I think that would be fabulous. Have a great day and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks, Amanda. Thank you for watching Real Estate Rockstars. Please give us a review wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening. We eat feedback for breakfast, and I don't care whether you give me a 1-star review or a 5-star review. I just want the review. I want to know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. Would love to improve things. Hey, and listen, please subscribe. The more subscribers we get and the more reviews we get, the better guests we'll get for you in the future. Feel free to reach out to me anywhere on social media. Just type in my name. I'm everywhere, and I look forward to meeting you in the digital world. Have a great day, and thanks again for listening to Real Estate Rockstars.